Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video, and this is video number 6 in the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, X-Men: The Age of Apocalypse Sugar Man Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Marvel's Morph. Now this is probably not the Morph that lots of people are going to be used to. I, for one, am more used to the animated series version as compared to this one. This is exactly how he looks in the Age of Apocalypse storyline, where his head and his body and everything was very, very animated. It could be all kinds of different shapes and all kinds of things. So he is a true shapeshifter in that comic. In the little bit that I had read that he was actually in, he even changed himself into Sabretooth at one point. Just all kinds of really interesting things. So here we have him in figure form. I was truly hoping that when he was announced at San Diego Comic-Con last year, that maybe, just maybe, they would pack in an extra head to go with the animated series that you could just put onto like a Cyclops body to have that animated version. And sadly, we did not get that. But I think this is still one that some folks wanted, especially those fans that are that really liked the Age of Apocalypse storyline. You get all the figures that really go to it, so that's a plus that way. So here we have the Age of Apocalypse logo, Build-A-Figure Sugar Man there, X-Men, Marvel's Morph, side artwork looking awesome with Apocalypse back there, and we have Morph, and again, very animated look to his face and everything that was going on in that story. Here we have a look at the figure and all the figures in the wave. We are here at Morph. Next up will be Dark Beast, and then onto the Build-A-Figure itself. The bio for Morph reads, a natural mimic, Kevin Sidney transforms himself into any shape at will. So truly any shape, whereas in the animated series he just simply changed his look to be other characters. So he is a true shapeshifter. Now this is not hitting stores. I picked it up from a seller on Mercari. Don't know how he got it, but he was getting all kinds of things early, such as this wave, the Stan Lee figure, the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes figure, the Black Widow wave, all kinds of things. No idea how he gets it fast, so don't be rushing out to stores yet because it's not in stores yet. No pre-orders, as far as I know, have processed or anything. I haven't seen Robot Kingdom have it or anything, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy to have my hands on it. Now, let's get this opened up and take a look inside. Okay, and here is the Morph figure out of the package, and it's an interesting one. I thought it was going to be super plain. At first look, I thought it was going to be the Bucky cap, but at least we get the better Spider-Man 2099 body for this figure, so that is something. I think an additional head, something where he has a more animated look, would have been much better to include, or in addition to, but it is what it is. Here we have the other leg to Sugar Man. You can see it is a tiny leg, and we'll throw that in the pile to go over the Build-A-Figure here shortly. But here we have the Morph figure, so let's take a closer look at him right now since there's no accessories. Okay, so looking at a closer look at the Morph figure, so I think you can see what Hasbro really went for by doing kind of the one line for the eyebrow, and then you can see the smile, they have the line there, to give it a little bit of that animated look to it, because his facial expressions and everything in that storyline were just really all over the place, and his head was big sometimes, it was small, it was just all over the place. So I see what Hasbro was going for in the facial expressions or the face paint that they actually did give him, but I would have liked more. Additional head really would have gone a long way, but it's still very good nonetheless. Clean paint lines, silver for the eyes, and then black around his eyes. Came off looking really good. The sculpt of it is nice. You can see looks really good, and then the paintwork on the figure is actually really good. The black over the blue, there's no paint bleed or anything like that. It all comes out looking great, and that's the little paint that's on there. We get yellow pirate boots, and then we get these gloves. I'm trying to think if these gloves are new, if they've been used before. I'm sure they have, but I just can't put my finger on which figure got that before, but here we go. And the cape looks a little high, and the reason for that is because if you actually peg it on the back peg hole like it is, it just sits really, really high, and then that collar piece you can see just doesn't look right. So if you unplug it and just kind of let it sit, it can kind of sit, I think, a little bit better. So it's just kind of tricky how you want to get that to work, but there he is. And again, looking at it, there's no paint whatsoever on the back of the figure. So there he is. Now let's look at his articulation. Okay, and for ease of use, I took the cape off so we can go over the articulation. He can't look all the way down, which is fantastic. He can't look all the way up, so really good. There is a tiny, tiny bit of pivot going on in there, and of course you get full rotation on that neck. Shoulder goes up very, very high on the Spider-Man 2099 body. You get a full rotation there, but you got to work around it because that butterfly joint really wants to move. But this butterfly joint is the best because you can get that arm to go that far back. Coming forward, you can get it to go quite a bit to really get a lot of that crossbody motion, so that works out great. There is the upper bicep swivel there. You get a double jointed elbow. However, the glove portion is really going to get in the way of getting that bend in there, so you can kind of work the one bend and it just kind of really gets in the way. So that glove is going to hinder that quite a bit, unfortunately. Wrists swivel and they do hinge. It's a little stiff on mine, but they do hinge. Just has fists. Ab crunch, he can crunch forward that much, which is great. He can crunch back going that far, which is still really good as well. We get a waist swivel in there. Legs go this far apart. He can't kick forward that high. You can kick back a little bit. There is the upper thigh cut there. Double jointed knee, which works well. There is a swivel at the boot cut there. Foot hinges down, hinges up. Slightly, not a whole lot. You get ankle pivot and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So there he is with the articulation, which is solid because we get that Spider-Man 2099 body. And the cape, you don't have to actually remove the head to get that cape on. You could just slip it right on over. Now let's see how he looks with the other figures from the wave. Okay, and here are all the figures in the wave that I have already reviewed. Next up is going to be Dark Beast. So let's see how he compares to Stan the Man himself and Apocalypse. Okay, Morph next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee figure, and they look to be just about the same height. Okay, and here is Morph next to the Build-A-Figure Apocalypse that Hasbro released about a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever it was. We will be getting a new one in the deluxe line later this year, as revealed at New York Toy Fair. But for now, this is the best that we could do. So Morph with Apocalypse. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this Morph figure. Are you excited about it? Are you disappointed that they didn't give us an animated series head sculpt like I really, really would have wanted them to? Maybe you guys wanted that as well. You guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on that. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell, and as always, thank you for watching.